It's been a roller coaster month for Nio. After dropping to its 52-week low at the end of August, Nio rallied almost 100% up until the beginning of October. But after pulling back in the past 2 weeks, is it time to run or is it time to buy the dip? On Friday, there was some announcements that could see Nio stock break from the current decline and start moving upwards again. This is a must-watch video for Nio investors where I will look at the very latest Nio news, analyze Nio's recent financials and current trajectory, and compare Nio today with where BYD was just a couple of years ago before becoming the biggest EV maker in the world. If you're a Nio investor, then you need to watch this. But before we get into the video, if you find any value in this, can I ask you to smash the like button? It literally costs nothing, but it helps me out so much. I'm aiming to get 500 likes on this video. Help me hit that goal. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on any new content like this. I want to point out that I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice, so always do your own due diligence. And answer the question later in this video, but for now, let's get straight into it. Now, Nio has been listed as one of the 3 no-brainer EV stocks to buy right now. But before I look at the reasons for such a bullish opinion on Nio stock, let's take a look at some recent developments. Nio has just announced that they have entered into a partnership with United Arab Emirates Telecoms Group E&, paving the way for the launch of its models there. Now, although Nio didn't provide any further details about this partnership, it seems to be aimed at enabling its vehicles to use the Telecom Group's network. On October 4th, Nio signed an agreement with CYVN to form a joint venture, Nio Might, marking Nio's entry into the Middle East and North African market. Nio Might would introduce Nio and its sub-brand models to MENA, expanding its footprint and further integrating into global smart EV ecosystems. As part of its broader vision, Nio and Abu Dhabi's CYVN Holdings plan to collaborate on a new EV project involving research, manufacturing, and future product launches, and are planning to establish a research and development center in Abu Dhabi that will focus on autonomous driving and artificial intelligence. So this agreement would mean that Nio could begin deliveries into the United Arab Emirates in the 4th quarter of this year. Now, although this does seem very bullish, with another new market for Nio's deliveries being established, it's important to know that Nio vehicles are already currently available in Norway, Germany, Sweden, Denmark, and the Netherlands. But as of this new report just yesterday has shown, Nio has exported only 1,000 vehicles so far this year, which is only 0.67% of total production. Now, I've been asked a lot over the past few months to give a breakdown of how well Nio sales in Europe has been doing, but since Nio don't publish these figures, it's been very hard to determine, and here we have it. It's only 1,000 vehicles in 9 months. But it's still important to understand a few things. First of all, Nio has only been expanding into Europe in the past couple of years. Norway at the beginning of 2022, and the other countries that I mentioned a moment ago, Nio didn't become available until last year. And Nio has been expanding into these countries with absolutely no brand recognition whatsoever in the European Union. For most people in Europe, they will never even heard of Nio, so it's not unusual for the sales to be so low. But this should improve over time. Nio did appoint a new head of European business earlier this year when they appointed Thies Melling as the new head of European business. He should be tasked with improving Nio's position in European markets, but this will be a tough task. The likes of Germany will not be an easy market to break into, considering that they have their own national brands such as Mercedes-Benz, BMW, and Audi, to name just a few. And we did see something similar with BYD when they began to expand across Europe. It's worth noting that BYD is currently the world's biggest selling EV company, but for more than a decade, from 2009 to 2020, its global sales remained stable at less than 500,000 units per year. But BYD have now sold more vehicles in 2024 and 2023 than they had sold in almost 2 decades before that. And now they're being sold all across Europe. 2 years ago, if you'd asked most Europeans, what do you think of BYD cars? They wouldn't even understand the question because they would have never even heard of BYD. Now they are the top selling EV in some European markets. Nio could eventually do something similar, but everything takes time, and that is a long way away. Now, 2 things that have impacted Nio massively over the past few weeks. First of all, we had the launch of Onvo in the past few weeks. Nio also issued their best earnings report to date, which showed improved margins, and then Nio received a large investment from investors in China. Guys, if you would like me to make a video where I analyze Nio's financial statements and their latest earnings report, then drop a comment below. If I get 500 likes on this video, I will make an analysis video going through these financials in detail. Now, as I said at the start of this video, Nio has been listed as one of the 3 no-brainer EV stocks to buy right now. So as it says here, Nio is a leading manufacturer of EVs, but it differentiates itself from its competitors with removable batteries that can be quickly replaced at its own battery swapping stations. That process is a lot faster than charging a vehicle's battery with traditional chargers. So in my opinion, this is the one huge thing about Nio that stands out when it comes to their vehicles. There is a lot more to Nio as a company than just their vehicles. They have the infrastructure in place and it is growing every week. And this is one of the major parts of their expansion all through China and into Europe. Now, as we are all very well aware, Nio stock has dropped from a high of $62 in 2021 down to $5 as of today. But at that price, Nio trades at less than 1 times next year's sales. And now Nio's deliveries are accelerating, and China's recent stimulus measures could drive more consumers to purchase its vehicles again, and it's gradually expanding into the European market. From 23 to 2026, analysts expect Nio's revenue to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 28% as it gradually narrows its net losses. Again, if you want me to discuss this improving financial position, then drop a comment below. Now, the growth should be driven by its newer high-end vehicles for its domestic market and the launch of its cheaper Onvo and Firefly vehicle brands in China and Europe, respectively. If Nio hits those targets and commands a higher valuation, its stock could skyrocket over the next few years. Now, speaking of Onvo and Nio deliveries accelerating rapidly, Nio hopes the Onvo L60 will reach 20,000 units delivered in a single month sometime in 2025, where the long-term goals for the main brand are 40,000 sales per month and a 25% gross margin. Now, this gross margin is what is a big deal for Nio. Right now, Nio's gross margin is the best it's ever been, and it's only 12%. But Nio is not only planning to more than double its sales to 40,000 per month, which is 480,000 per year, but they're aiming for 25% gross margin on that. So looking back here at their financial statements, let's do some quick maths. Q2 deliveries were 57,000. This produced 2.4 billion in revenue and 232 million in gross profit. If Nio was to achieve 480,000 deliveries next year, that would be roughly $20 billion in revenue for the year, and a gross margin of 25% would be a gross profit of $5 billion for 2025. Now, without even trying to calculate and adding in operating expenses, I can guarantee that this would be moving Nio very close to turning those quarterly losses into finally becoming profitable. Let me know your thoughts on this. Drop a comment below. Are you bullish on Nio stock, or do you think that it will crash down again? There's a lot of talk about Nio this week, but always do your own due diligence. Remember that I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Always do that research. But if you enjoyed this analysis, then please like and subscribe. I hope you make a load of money on this stock. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll catch you in the next